W7MS testing 7, 8, 9, 10.
Going to be tough for the next guy. You're going to have to start counting hexadecimal. Good morning, Mike.
Well, good morning, Ron. Sounding good, and it's another beautiful day. And awoken at 5 a.m. by all those quail doing warning calls and all those little babies.
Ah, yes. Well, that call of nature is still better than the other call of nature, which awakens several times during the day, at least for me.
Okay, well, we'll send the gang over to say good morning to you.
Yeah, let's see. Where's the bird shot? There it is. Okay. Well, I can probably get off one shot without anyone thinking it's a firearm. Probably just thinking it's Armando, the neighbor, and his brother working on another truck they got from the salvage yard. One backfire. Well, good deal. I'm still wearing the collar of shame. The appointment got canceled on Thursday, so here I sit until Wednesday to see will he or won't he. Well, no new projects to speak of, so we'll listen with bated breath for what's the project that it's over in Golden Valley right now. All right. I heard some other carriers, or there's somebody there, and U6F.
That'd be me, W6MQI.
Well, good morning, Dave. Good signal. Hopefully we're making the trip.
Yep, guys are sounding good down here.
What are you guys doing on Shirley? W6 Able, Queen, Uncle.
There's Bob.
It's the voice of Montague. Good morning to you, the wife, and the puppy dogs.
Montague is alive and well.
You guys getting the frequency all warmed up, are you? Go ahead, Dave.
That was a nice double.
Well, are you getting the frequency warmed up?
Yeah, I think it's ready to go.
Well, you're over 9 up here on my dial. All right, well, I have not had breakfast yet either. So, we will. We didn't get overtime last Sunday to copy the net, but thanks to Mr. McGrath, we were able to play it back last time and listen. I guess not too many people last weekend. So, what's happening up there?
Well, it's another beautiful late spring day, and as I was mentioning to Ron, all the nesting quail with their little babies wake me up with a nice chorus of warning calls at 5 a.m. Not complaining, it happens every year, but my gosh, they're busy little birdies.
Yeah. Oh, good morning to Ron, I guess he was in here. Well, we have quail here. It never amazes me to watch those little guys. When they run, those feet are moving like crazy. Man, boy, they got superpower on those legs, don't they?
Well, they do, and sometimes I think they probably inspired some Looney Tune cartoons.
I think if you were to scale those up to our size, we'd probably be running 50 miles an hour.
Oh, absolutely. And I didn't know that. Well, they are California quail, at least that's the generic term. So, but I thought they were illegal these days.
That was a great double.
Okay, let me see if I got it. NU6F. Oh, well, I'm going to double with myself. All right. Good morning there, Bob. And glad you put Montague on the map. No quail. I have been watching 3 baby Belding ground squirrels. One spot in the stone wall in the backyard where I have filled it up. I've poured all kinds of obnoxious stuff the last couple of years, but yeah, they come back and they burrow right through that same spot in the rocks again and make their little burrow, and so there they are. Would you rather have ground squirrels or quail? That's an easy decision. Any success.
Any success. W6, April, Queen Uncle Montague. Well, we have ground squirrels. I don't care for those. I shoot at them. I'm not able to hit them. Well, those critters. Okay. We have one red tree squirrel. Now, they're okay. I like the tree squirrels, but, yes, Vern, I like tree squirrels. Vern may be lurking in the background now. All right. I've had one cup of coffee. I got to see about moving the generator this morning. It's been running pretty high temperatures here. Anticipated today of 98. It was 96 all through the night, it seemed like. So anyhow, good morning for all for now. I shall be back. W6 Able, Queen Uncle.
They sound good in Livermore, Henry, W6MQI.
Well, thanks, Henry, for the signal report, even though we're just locals, W7MS.
Yeah, Henry. All right, well, we'll see what the band has to offer this morning. And Dave, as usual, for the non-Nevada stations, you're always top dog.
Yeah, I've either got my antennas pointed the right way or something. So I know Henry and I seem to have a pipeline.
I got a question for Mike, the W7MS. What do you know about that Y826 tube in that MIT linear?
I would say at this time of the morning, not a darn thing. So elaboration, please.
Well, in taking that linear apart, the first thing I noticed was that the final, the amplifier tube, the RF amplifier tube, is an iMac Y826, and an experimental tube, I guess. And I guess it's like an experimental or something different about it, version of a 3-500Z. So I wondered if you had ever heard of, the Y prefix and the version of, something 826. So anyway, that was one of the things I noticed. WA7YBS and the crew, WA7YBS.
Okay, yeah, comment. Actually, I never looked at it close enough, other than it had the right form factor. But usually the Y tubes, aren't they commercially spec'd for a specific application or purchaser? So maybe that's some kind of pulse-rated Uber vacuum tube rated for like 50,000 kilovolts on the plate, at 1 millisecond.
Yeah, it could be. The power supply indicates that it produces 3,000 volts on the, for the plate on that tube. So we'll see. We're in the process of kind of determining what John had in mind for the amp. But interesting, and of course, typical MIT. It's extremely high quality, well built. And so anyway, that's the rundown on the MIT linear, WA7YBS.
Oh yeah, final comment. Appreciate everybody else being patient, but yeah, I ran that with the Harris RF. What is that? 103. Their commercial military transceiver, and I know I had the hood off of it, at least on the PA section once, out of curiosity. In the power supply, I never touched. But you can always return it for a refund, Henry.
No, I think I got a good deal on that. Yeah, no, satisfied customer.
Okay, thanks. W7MS. I just had to throw that one out.
Good morning, K0DWC.
K6VXY.
Well, I copied Vern and also Chuck. K6VXY is in there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you, Henry. Yeah, I was writing him down when I heard him. But, I've been sitting here listening, doing some other stuff here while I've been listening. I was just waiting until about 7:15. And we got plenty of folks now to start the net, so we'll go ahead and get it started. So this is a Vintage Military Radio Net. This is Chuck, K0DWC, and we'll be operating on 3974 KC this morning. Vintage Military Radio Net is an AM net that provides an opportunity for licensees to move their vintage military radio gear on the air. So with that being said, you guys know the spiel. This is the order that I have heard people as I've been listening. Excuse me. In the number 1 spot is Ron, NU6F. Good morning, Ron. In the number 2 spot is Mike, W7MS. Good morning, Mike. In the 3 spot is Dave, W6MQI. Good morning, Dave. In the 4 spot is Bob, W6AQU. Good morning, Bob. In the 5 spot is Henry, W87YBX. Good morning, Henry. And in the 6th spot is Vern, K6BXY. Good morning, Vern. Okay, let me see if there's anybody else that's waiting to check in to be number 7. Let's check in now. Come now.
W6OPE.
Hey, there's Tom. Good morning, Tom. WA6OPE. I've got you in the number 7 spot, sir. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to check in before we start the first round? Be number 8. Come now. Okay, nothing heard, so let me give it a rundown one more time by call sign. In the number 1 spot is NU6F. 2 spot is W7MS. 3 spot is W6MQI. 4 spot is W6AQU. Number 5 is WA7YBS. Number 6 is KXVXY. And number 7 is WA6OPE. So, with that, equipment rundown is the standard stuff I've been running. ART13, R388, inverted V, 200 watts, E104 microphone. Actually, it's more like about 200. Well, it says 250, but I don't know if it's doing 250 or not. Great watt meters, you just don't know. But anyway, over 200 watts, I'll just put it to you that way. So anyway, with that, we'll keep her going, and we'll start the first round, and we will go up to Reno to Mr. Ron, NU6F in the group, K0DWC. Go ahead, Ron.
And I forgot to throw my my mic switch audio on. Anyhow, I didn't even copy you there, Chuck, for the last 50%. I've got really bad QSB even on Mike and on Henry, everybody. So not sure what's going on. I've got my typical buzzsaw noise going on in the back, so man, it's going to be a rough morning for me. Alrighty, well anyhow, I'm running the T3. The only difference, I'm running the D104 into the mic jack as opposed to what I usually use, which is into the 600 ohm. And this is the 600 ohm, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that audio is way down. And then this is the mic jack in front. Anyhow, but the antenna, the 170-foot long wire, receiving on the R390A Stuart Warner brand. All right, with that, take it away, Mike. W7MS, NU success.
Well, thanks, Ron, with a little touch-up on the... Yes, touch-up on the frequency here. NU6F in the Sunday morning military net, W7MS. Well, I'm hearing everybody, but I'd say signals are down, but kind of typical propagation. Chuck is still Q5, but a little noticeable degradation on the signal-to-noise ratio from his station, but so far so good. So good morning again to Henry, Vern, and Tom as recent joiner-uppers, and of course we've got Bob and Dave and Ron out there. So this morning running the old number ones, the 30K1, 310A1, both of course serial number one, the old number ones, and the 75A1 receiver, which is I guess a end of life. It's a high serial number somewhere up there in the end of life for that product line. So that's the setup here. Antennas, the usual stuff, and the D104 and some of the other station accessories. So we'll keep it rolling, and hopefully we can cheat propagation here for the roundtable. So over to you, Dave. W6MQI, W7MS.
Hi, Mike. W6MQI. Well, dropping all stations okay down here in Livermore today. But just from 7 o'clock till now, I've noticed the degradation of the propagation. Kind of didn't take long. But today we're on the ART13 again, listening on the R390A with the D104 microphone. So that's about it here for today. And yeah, Chuck, I don't know how much wattage I'm running either. It says close to 200 on a Dentron watt meter, so who knows. Anyway, up to Bob, W6AQU, W6MQI. Did we lose Bob?
Well, no Bob, but we have Bill.
Bill too. Okay, Bill, I'll put you in the number 8 spot there, my friend. N6BCT. So stand by. W6AQU, are you on frequency?
A lot of dead airspace.
Hearing or not, I thought I'd give him a little bit of a break here and see if maybe I could hearing a little bit, but I don't hear anything. So why don't you go ahead and take it, Henry? WA7YBSK0DWC.
WA7YBS. Very good. Okay, copy here is not bad on everybody. It's Q5 all the way around. And Bill and Vern are the low guys on the pole. And I think Dave and Mike are probably top dog other than Chuck. So conditions are okay. And Ron, for the T3, I noticed when you went to the 600 ohm line input on that you lost all the bass. I think that's typical of the 600 ohm line on that thing. I mean, the two audio inputs on the speech amp are exactly the same, but for some reason the 600 ohm line always seems to be kind of lacking in the bass. But it sounds good. Of course, Mike, the 30K1, excellent, and Dave, the ART13, excellent. And I'm also on the ART13A, the Sama Fugitive, and Sama did everything they could to resurrect it, but were not successful. And so I guess it got sold surplus, and anyway, I got it as a basket case, literally a basket case. It was in 3 boxes. I traded a guy down in Lafayette. I traded him a tube tester, and I think it was an old Hickok 600 tube tester and a Hewlett-Packard 713 power supply for a whole carload of military gear and 2 ART-13s, and of course this Sama Fugitive was one of the ART-13s in that bunch of junk. And so anyway, that's what we're running, and my Drake watt meter says 125 watts. And I believe that's probably pretty accurate because the match to the antenna is 1-to-1, so it should be pretty accurate, within 10% or so. Receiver is the HRO7, the black wrinkle finish table model. Quite an unusual HRO7, and a good performer. It should be. I totally rebuilt it, so it's got all new capacitors and stuff like that in it, and a recent alignment, so it is doing pretty good. Weather was 60 degrees this morning, kind of little spotty clouds, and that's about it. So let's run it on down to Vern. How you copying, Vern? K6VXY, WA7YBS.
Okay, thanks, Henry. Running a lot of drinks here today. Got the linear going. It's been dry weather, and I'm getting better. Gee, tomorrow will be 5 weeks since the big day. So I'm getting around pretty good. The equipment here is the power supply here, the MFJ, and then I got my ICOM 7100. No, it's not 7100, is it? Where's my glasses here? The 7200. And MFJ tuner here, which is antenna's pretty much set for this frequency. I think it's maybe a blend between here and 3870. And then the wonderful, still chunking along SB200. I got a pair of new tubes for that. I think it was a year ago. And rather interesting. Speaking of that, I wanted to see how things were going on the fruit meet N7RCA, because I knew he had it recorded. And I happened to catch last year, so I saw that again. Then I saw this year's, the 2024 version. Saw several pieces of equipment there, and not in the front row stands up where Mike was, but the second row, there was second or maybe third row. They had some neat-looking receivers and transceivers and stuff there. I thought, gee, might have been nice, but yeah, I looked at the gravel there. It was firmer than I thought. Where I parked, it was real, freshly plowed last year, and up where you guys were was firmer, but I wouldn't want to be walking on that with my walker. Next year, I'll target next year. I think I should be able to be okay for that, for the N7 RCA thing, but I saw a bunch of people there I knew and talked to on Saturday morning, so it was kind of neat to see the video. And this year was better. Last year got kind of gravelly looking, but this year, I don't know what he had. It's like an interference. It's a digital transmission, I think. The digital is different than the old analog linear type noise and interference. And anyhow, here, I was going to say something about, the sunrise thing here, talking about propagation. I was listening a little earlier, and I came down here. I haven't had coffee in 5 weeks, and I noticed it some, but being laid up, I didn't want to have to get up and go to the bathroom, number one, especially because of and I've been doing exercises. I got a little better yesterday, I could tell, but I hit 90 degrees on my appointment this week, and on the knee bend, they want you at 110, which is, I guess, what you need to ride a bicycle. So I got still a little short on that. So all is well here, and well, I'm listening to my muffin fan, or whatever kind of fan they put in the heat, it's going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I think that thing's got, maybe I'll have to put in a muffin fan or something like that eventually. But one thing that helps is I keep the lid pumped back on the SB200 here, and that way it runs a little cooler and the fan doesn't work so hard. And I know Tom is up next. He likes to know something about the squirrel report. I got a little squirrel pellet gun, BB gun, shoot at the squirrels. I wish I had one yesterday. I was out there sitting in the backyard relaxing, and the squirrels are out there nosing the critical trees. So I like that. And there was one out front. I lost the antenna out front. I had a 2-meter antenna, and they tore that thing up months ago, but I've got an alternate here. Most of the 2-meter work I do is on the repeater, so I don't need much power for that. And anyhow, it's nice to hear you guys again, and I put the mic there. Should pick that up. The sound is made. It's like it's dragging on part of the blades or something like that. Anyhow, over to Tom in Richmond, and nice to hear you all again. I was watching some music before I got on the net. I was going to watch another chapter in this serial I've been watching. I got the recording of The Invaders. Very fascinating. I'm up to now, season 2 is just starting. And the neat thing about getting older or whatever, it was so long ago I saw it. It's all new to me again. I remember bits and pieces of it. But I don't think I ripped it for a millennium. I thought it was going to come back for season 3. It never made it. So, I'm not sure what happened there. But, it's been kind of interesting. All the guest stars you have on that show have gone on. Ed Asner was on it. Was it Jack Lord for Hawaii 5-0? And a lot of people. Suzanne Plachette was on. This last week was, he was in 9 to 5. I'm trying to think of his name. The guy. But it seems like most of their guest stars get wiped out in their one episode. So over to you there, Tom. And good morning to everybody. That's Ron, Mike, and Dave. I didn't hear Bob, Henry, and Tom, and Bill. Go ahead, Bob. WS68. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom, looking at the wrong spot. WA6OPE Tom, K6BXY.
Okay, K6BXY, WA6OPE. Good morning to everybody. It's Tom in beautiful Richmond. We're on the usual U.S. Navy World War II setup, consisting of a TCM transmitter running about 65 watts output into an end-fed wire. And let's see here, signal reports. So-so. Ron was about Q4. Mike was doing really well. QSB noticeable. Dave, of course, is blowing the doors off as usual. We haven't heard AQU yet. Henry was nice and loud. And Ron had a good signal, Q5. Very good. And I heard N6BCT in there too, so that was a pretty good signal too. So, yeah, the usual Sunday morning thing lately, kind of strange propagation. And I hear that crud on the frequency too, some kind of possible digital transmission or something, which is right on frequency, and each carrier that comes on is slightly different in frequency, so the beat note changes a tad, and then you hear this kind of digital crud sound in the background. But my noise level is louder than that. So although the noise level is there, since I changed that pole at the end of the block and added a transformer to the street, the noise level has gone down dramatically. I would say at least 7 dB, at least 6 dB drop. So that was pleasant for a change instead of the other way around. Let's see, questions. I wonder if Dave has had any, was there an REL report or anything else? And if anybody had any, I did watch the video, the N7RCA N9AMI video of the swap. Very good, very interesting, lots of fun, and we will keep it moving. So over to Bill, N6BCT, over to WA6OPE. Goes back to Chuck, K0DWC. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what? He started out fine, but then he just faded away. I couldn't dig him out on the 388. Anyway, let's see if Bob is back. W6AQU. Bob, have you found your difficulties there? Well, I didn't hear anything, so we'll try him again here on the second round here. He'll be back pretty quick, hopefully. So, anyway, okay, well, is there anybody else that would like to be number 9? Tail end of the first round for the Vintage Military Radio Net coming out. Okay, nothing heard. So let's see. Signal reports. Ron, you were great. Mike, you were great. Dave was great. Bob, we'll find out. Henry is knocking off the new dust on my windowsill. Vern, about an S8, S9, no problem. Tom's got a real nice signal in here this morning. Real good signal. And Bill was in and out on that transmission, but anyway, glad that he's here. So we'll go ahead and we'll go back up to the top to Ron for the start of the second round. NU6F K0 DWC.
Okay, good deal. Wow, I'm having a tough time, like I said, but signal's just all over the place. I'm noticing QSB, the carrier level meter on the R390A is from 40 to 80 dB. Yeah, of course, and it's nothing. First of all, I thought I had a loose connection or something because it was so radical, but no, slowly just fades in and out. So anyhow, and I haven't had any issues with antenna or the other bands for the week, so still been catching the occasional DX and not a whole lot of activity. Probably not of interest here, but anyhow, the bug users group been around for a long time, and they finally decided to try and get a net going, and so they chose 30 meters yesterday, and was net control was Central Standard Time, so it was pretty early, so but 5:30 in the morning I got on, and stations were so far spread out that almost none of us were hearing one another. Net control was in Texas, and he was relaying almost everything back and forth, but that was kind of fun for a brand new group that talked about it for years, and then finally somebody said, well, let's just pick a frequency and try it. But anyhow, project-wise, yeah, not a whole lot going on. And Vern, I'm going to send you my squirrel report. I was just drafting a email, and glad to hear the knee is doing great. And 5 weeks, no coffee. Well, I guess that's got you slowed down quite a bit. There's no way you're going to chase the squirrels now with one bum knee and no coffee. So, yeah, you might as well stick with the pellet gun. That's the only way you're going to catch them now. And Henry, I was interesting on the Y8, was it the 827, whatever the tube was. I did take a look at, yeah, I Googled it online, and sure enough, it did show that the Y prefix for the experimental tubes, Y826, that was it. But, and I saw that there was a pair that sold on, it wasn't on eBay, somewhere else, no price showing. And yeah, I don't know what happened to Bob. And Tom, OPE, I copied, but it was, yeah, it was almost like, just fading in and out above the noise level. So it's just whatever it is here locally. I knew if I was hearing you that week, that probably with your noise level, you probably wouldn't copy. But oh well, that's the way she goes. And Dave sounding good on the ART-13. Mike, yeah, I mean when the signals faded out, you were just in the mud, and then boom, pegged the meter. So go figure. All right, guys. I'll pass it over to Golden Valley. W7MS and U6F.
Well, thank you, Ron, and U6F and the Sunday Morning Military Net W7MS. Well, still good reception from all, and happy to receive good reception reports from the group here, especially, well, with the exception of Ron, the wave, Mr. Neighbor. It's an interesting phenomenon, but I wouldn't, well, not only typical for this time of year, but a little bit of a shocker based on our I guess that's why we can head over to the cell phone if HF becomes too difficult. And the irony would be VHF, UHF, FM operation? Huh? What? Haven't been on that in 5 or 6 years, but there's always the old-fashioned way, let alone DMR and all the other facets out there. But enough of that. Great on projects. The Black Wrinkle HR07 that Henry's commenting on, beautiful. What can you say? As I said in the past, I've never really been enamored with the HR07 appearance, but put a blackface on it, and it's a work of art. So it's, I'm sure you're really enjoying its operation. And Bob, I don't know, usually when Bob disappears, I wonder if he's got some adjacent frequency interference that maybe isn't propagating to us, because that's usually a deal killer for him. I guess we'll have to find out. Dave's doing great. Nice to hear Vern get an update on his on the knee surgery, critique of N9 AMI videos previous year, this year, and of course the big shocker is 5 weeks without coffee. That's for me, that would be that's a nightmare scenario. But probably once you're used to it, it's probably for the best. And Tom, thanks for a good audio report. We'll find out what Dave's updates on his projects are. And Ron's on the CW net, good on that, and a little frustrating, but probably a good time not to be net control. But based on your observations, he did a great job, he or she, and that's fantastic. Yeah, projects here. Picked up that R1490 National from Brown. Added that to my 1490 collection. A background, I've had a 1490 working for a number of years. I've got a Hanger Queen out in the back garage that was too frustrating to work on, and then now the third one from Brown. So I've been investigating that project and came to the conclusion I needed to remove the working 1490 from the lineup and do a lot of module swapping to determine what's good and what's bad, because especially if you have multiple failures in the same receiver. And for Dave, this makes the GRC 106 transmitter exciter look like a piece of cake. This thing is one heck of a complex receiver. And if you look in the Osterwald book, they claim that the price each acquisition cost back in 1968 was 23 grand for this receiver. It's a work of art, and who else can say when the first LO mixer, first LO runs at 1 watt and drives a parametric mixer up to VHF range for the first IF. It's something else, and of course all modular, and some of the problems not having extension cables, and we'll see what happens. We may end up with a second working unit, or we'll end up with 2 units in the back garage in storage, and on to something else that's maybe more satisfying. But I think we're well on our way, at least determining what's good and what's bad via the working receiver as a test bed. So that's the projects here. We'll keep it rolling and see what Dave is, his response to Tom is on the receiver projects. W6MQI, W7MS.
All right, W7MS, W6MQI. All right, Mike, business on your projects there. And good morning to Vern. And I'd have to come up with some sort of a medal to give you for not having coffee for 5 weeks. Yeah, I couldn't do that either. Just dealing with the headaches for a while would be just bloody murder. I'd have to figure something else out. But good on you on that one. Let's see. Yeah, projects. The only thing I've done with the RAO is print the manual out, and I printed all the schematics and drawings out on 11 by 17 paper, all laser printed, so they're all nice and clear and big, so I can see everything. and I took the bottom covers off and looked inside, and it appears nobody's been in there doinking around in there, so everything looks stock. Nothing looks like it's been unsoldered or anything, so it's pristine in there, Tom. It's all looking good. I did tighten a few knobs. All the mechanical workings are functioning, and they all appear to be. But that's all I've done with it so far. I've been working on the NC100, trying to get it to a point where I can get it off the bench here. I put the catacomb in it yesterday and ran it through its paces to make sure it wasn't hitting anything that I had put in there, component-wise, and it all seems to work. I still need to restring the dial. I might do that today. I don't know yet. But I kind of want to get the NC100 to a point where I can put it back in the cabinet, which I have painted as well. I did the black wrinkle on it. Yeah. When it comes to what it looks like, I give it a 7 out of 10. I think Henry mentioned on his website, or he mentioned on the net here, that when he sprayed the black wrinkle paint, somehow it reacted with the paint underneath. Now, I didn't strip my paint all the way off. I did a pretty good sanding on it. I think maybe the black wrinkle paint reacted with something in a couple spots because it looks got some blemishes, like it tried to lift whatever it was. So right now I'm just too lazy to restrip it again and reapply that black wrinkle. Maybe in the future I'll do that. I'm also keying the lever sits in. You know, as usual, that thing's small open with multiple fingers. Solder that back together. Hopefully I can get it to a point where it doesn't look so bad. Ron, I'm doing this on the CW net. Curious, not that I'm up on the bug. Yeah, I haven't been on CW for a while. Send the frequency and time and all that sort of stuff. I might listen in. And I don't even know what band was it, 40 meters? I'm curious what frequency it was on. Other than that, I do have a want, as some of you've probably seen. I need one of those ART13 plug-in, audio plug-in units. I got an idea for one of those. So if anybody's got something like that laying around they want to sell or trade or whatever, I'm looking for the audio interstage transformer. It was like T202, I think it was. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, that's the rundown here. Again, I want to get the NC100 back together, and I'll set it off to the side after it's all kind of looking pretty, and then I'll probably start digging into the RAO. I'm really excited to get that going. I think those RAOs. I think those are really neat looking receivers. So anyway, who's next here? Well, should I try Bob? I guess I'll give Bob a call, and then if not, over to Henry. W68QU, W6MQI.
Queen Uncle.
Okay, Bob, W6AQU, WA7YBS. And yeah, you're doing pretty good in here. You're probably about an S6 or so, but Q5, no problem on the copy. And so everybody else is doing very well. Pegging the S meter, which is typical for nationals on 75 meters. Bill is a little light, but still Q4 or so. So all the way around, good copy. Okay, on the black wrinkle finish on the NC101 AX. Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, I know the cans, the VHF or VHT cans will tell you 2 heavy coats. Do 4. Do 4 coats. You need lots of paint. I mean, lots of it. And then I have 2 250 watt brood lamps that I use. You know, like heat lamps, but they're like for chickens. You know, I got mine at Tractor Supply, and then the you know, the little aluminum bell hoods on them to direct the heat down. And even that's not enough. I use a handheld heat gun also, and I can get it to wrinkle every time, 100% wrinkle, and it's a lot of paint and a lot of heat, and that's the key. You can't rely on the sun. It's not enough. You need those brood lamps. They're cheap too. You would think they'd be expensive, but they're not. But Tractor Supply always has them because, well, the Tractor Supply up here in Carson City anyway always seems to have little chicks for sale, so they have the brood lamps also. And let's see, one of the things that was kind of a headache that I got rid of at the swap meet was that pogo stick transceiver that I had. What is that? It's an SCR 511, I think. And anyway, there was Brown was sort of the W1NZR was the middleman, the negotiator between me and Brian KN4R, who's in North Carolina. Well, it ended up I was negotiating with Brown, thought he was going to take it. Well, it ended up I sold the thing, and then it still sat there. I had to ship it. Luckily, I took it, Brian was agreeable to pay to have it packed, so I took it to Carson City and had it packed and shipped, and I added the vibrator power supply to the deal, so everybody ended up being happy over that. The pogo stick found a new home in North Carolina, and it's got the vibrator power supply with it now. And let's see, other projects, the Howard Radio Company, the 450A, the 12-tube Howard receiver, big communications receiver that Howard made in 1938. And I think there's probably been at least 15 different hams into the chassis of that, doing repairs, all at various levels of aptitude, and most of them lacking aptitude for that type of work. And so I had to strip it out and start over. It was really the only way to do it, kind of, at least, maybe, hopefully, as original. So, you know, you can kind of get an idea of how well or how badly the receiver worked when it was new. But it's just striking. You know, it looks like a receiver with a stopwatch on the front and a barometer and a pressure gauge. Very unique, cool looking. So anyway, the Howard is about half done. And of course, earlier Mike and I were talking about the MIT linear and the unusual tube that was in it, the experimental Y826. So anyway, it's all good, and so we're all happy. And with that, we'll send it over to Vern, who has been without coffee for 5 weeks. I think I could go 5 hours without coffee, maybe. Anyway, over to Vern, K6VXY, WA7, YBS.
Yeah, I'm surprised myself. Even after a week, they had coffee there, and I did try it once, but that was the first week, so I think that was a couple days after the surgery. That was only like, I don't know, 1 ounce, if they just didn't taste it. It's been 5 weeks. It's been just short of 5 weeks now. But one thing I wanted to comment on was the signals. A lot of QSB today, just about everybody, even Mike, who is typically a very strong signal. Because of my ears and ham radio, I got into the sunrise sunset thing, and where the peaks and valleys are. And the longest day of the year, of course, is June 21st, and that's the week that people say in between the sunrise peak and the sunset peak. And so the first part of the week of July will have the sunset as late as it's going to be. And this last week we just passed it with this early sunrise week. So conditions should get better week by week. I know when we go there this week, it's on Saturday with this time, week to week, that we should be we'll notice a lot. And I think that kind of happens middle to later July. We're getting some relief now, but it's only a few minutes. But conditions should get better and better as we move toward the fall. And we all probably would say, I noticed that. That happens with the sunrise. Yeah, it's really wreaking havoc with all of the signals today. But I'm getting, nearly 100%. And good morning to Bob. I don't know if you can hear me. You're kind of weak today, but I did notice your dog had grown in the last year. I had a nice visit with him last year in the 2023 seminar. Well, he was running out of the there. Right earlier, she came by to say hello to you at the AMI. Came by to say hello. So, hope conditions get better, but you're pretty weak today. Maybe sunrise, sunset hits you more. There. Hard to say. Anyhow, I'm going to turn it over to Tom. And yeah, my wife doesn't like guns of any kind, even a BB gun. But I'm going to have to sneak it out there on my next visit on the patio, because they're getting kind of feisty out there, those squirrels. Just kind of let them know there's certain trees they should avoid. I really don't want to hit them, but I want to hit them. I want something close, like hit the ground and here's my voice yelling, and lots of chips of, they're almost like redwood chips out there, and leaves go splashing into them. But enough on that. So good morning to everybody, and I'll stick around for the next round, but conditions are starting to change pretty drastically here. And that's due
Did he turn it over to me?
He did.
Okay, thank you. Lost him. This is WA60PE. Yeah, conditions are deteriorating even further than they were on the last go-around. So I'm going to make this my 73 round. 73, everybody. Talk to you all next week. N6BCT, WA60PE.
He turned it over to you, Chuck.
Okay, Henry. Yeah, he did the same thing this time. I started out hearing him, and then he was gone. So anyway, conditions are getting pretty rank. So we'll go ahead and do the 7-3 round now, and go from there. So is there anybody else that wants to check in, be number 9 for the second round? Come now. Okay, I didn't hear anything, so we'll do the 7-3 round here real quick, fellas, because the band is going away rather rapidly. So go up to the top, NU6F, K0DWC. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, good deal. Well, yeah, things are tough. I can see. I just looked on KFS, and I see my signal dropped 10 dB into the station into NPR. So I don't know that probably not much traffic from anyone outside of Nevada. But anyhow, good deal, Mike, on the R1490. You know, I had to look at that and see. I didn't know what the heck it was. So, boy, that's quite the different receiver. I'll have to read up on what the specifics were. And definitely sounds like you got a much better price from Brown than the U.S. government did. And Dave, good deal about the RAO not being hamsterized. That's a plus. So if you've not heard the story of my RAOs, yeah, well, we won't talk about silent keys. But I at least have one that's pristine, so there you go. Yeah, the Bug CW net, it's 10.123, so it's a 30-meter net, 10.123, and it's Saturday morning. So, but it's early. Like I say, it's 7:30 Central Standard Time, so it's 05:30 for us. But net control station is K5KV, Benny, and Texas. And Bob, AQU, yeah, good deal on things up that way, and the ART13 audio mods. Yeah, you know, I haven't done anything on that, on the audio of that. It's still all original. I never ran into an issue with it. I did do the extensive CW mods, which were worthwhile to make a fast, noiseless keying. But after 2 years dinking with that, I finally decided to just pull it out. So it's all back stock, and I don't use it much on CW. It's just way too noisy and very distracting. And okay, Henry, on the Howard, which as opposed to Dave's MQI, yours was hamsterized beyond your imagination even. Vern, I sent you off an email just now with my squirrel report. And like I say, mine are all underground and they're not up in the trees. But you know, I'm thinking instead of the BB gun, maybe a paintball gun. Now that would be kind of fun. You could go ahead and paintball the ones that are really causing all the problems. And they could wear the color of shame. All right, guys. Everybody's fading in and out, so I am also. All right, guys, 73. Thanks, Chuck, for riding herd on the net. And, yeah, let's see. Go ahead, Mike. I know you're copying. W7MS, NU6F. Listening out.
Well, thank you, Ron, NU6F, and the Sunday Morning Military Net, W7MS. Yeah, good reception from all. In fact, even you, Ron, even you, down the street, and Chuck on the ground wave have actually, the signal-to-noise ratio is improved, which is probably telling me the skywave is evaporated, but Again, interesting observing propagation phenomenon. I'm not going to call it strange, it's just interesting. But great, yeah, and advice to, from this day forth, he's going to be known as Deadeye Vern, whether he's using pellet gun, paint gun, shotgun, cannon, or maybe the middle finger thrown in the direction of the squirrels there. But good luck, because just like cockroaches, if there is a nuclear exchange, there'll be two animals that survive, two beings. There'll be cockroaches and squirrels. They'll still be on the planet. We'll be gone, but and they could hardly care less. They'll enjoy it. They'll have a good time without us. But great on all the projects. It's everybody's busy here and there. Congratulations, Henry, on the pogo stick transfer. That was definitely of interest, but boy, you had a long distance buyer. But I did notice Brown was busy conversing with various folks on the East Coast via text messaging. So he arranged a marriage in heaven. So that's good on that one. But and welcome back, Bob. Glad whatever it was local activity rather than QRM from other folks there in the Pacific Northwest, but still a good signal from your station. And we'll say 7-3s. We'll see you on the radio next Sunday. And thank you, Chuck, for running the show. Sounding good, and you're sounding much more relaxed than you have the past couple of Sundays, so I think you've gotten caught up with all the spring work there on your property and home. So congratulations on that, and again, thanks for running the cats here this morning. So over to Dave, W6MQI, W7MS.
All right, W7MS, W6MQI. All right, guys, I'll make it quick because, yep, conditions, they are fading out. They're fading out fast here. So 73, everybody. I will not be here next week. I'm off to the wild blue yonder somewhere. So 73, everybody, and over to, if Bob's still around, W6AQU, W6MQI.
Don't shoot them with a paint gun. And they get that yellow on them, they'll be embarrassed. And then they'll have to go away, not be seen. That wouldn't be a good idea. Well, we will say 7-3s, and 7-3s to all who have signed. OPE, we're loud and clear right up to the last minute.
Okay, Bob. WA6AQU, WA7YBS, and yeah, you're down a little bit, but copy was 100%, so there you go. Okay, we will say 73 all around, and I don't think there's anything else. Okay, 73, and everybody have a good week coming up. I will be net control next Sunday. So with that, we'll send it over to Vern. K6VXY, WA7YBS.
tree, you know, this sheet aluminum, was a sheet metal aluminum, whatever, foot wide. And decided, well, once I like this there, I'm going to put a second ring up a little higher. That'll stop him. And he's going to one of the critical trees. They don't care about the other ones. Oh, yes, they do. I've seen them out there on the other trees. They're going after everything. But I'll keep it short and 73 to all. And this is definitely 72 round the signal, so DWC. Good luck there, Chuck. Way to go. K60 flight.
Okay, Vern, yeah, I guess the Bill Tom did sign, so N6BC2, go ahead, Bill.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I think Bill turned it over to you there, Chuck.
Yeah, at that time I didn't hear him at all. I didn't know if he was on or not, but I thought I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully, I was hoping I could catch a glimpse of him there, but okay, thank you, Henry. Okay, guys, well, thanks a lot. Everybody have a good day today and a good week ahead, and as Henry stated, he'll be net control next Sunday, and we'll talk to you guys then. So thank you all for being there, and it's outside for me and more tractor work, so y'all take care, and again, thank you for being there. You guys are what makes the net good, so, or great, I should say. So 7-3s, guys. This is K0DWC, and I'll be signing off. 7-3s.